Auditing your company's balance sheet can tell you a lot about the health of your company. And an audit of your hiring process can do the same thing about hiring. It can tell you where you're making mistakes, where there's too much effort, and if you're headed in the wrong direction. Also, if you're engaging in the old way of hiring, keeping a job open until the right person shows up, versus the new way of hiring, cultivating top talent and then waiting for jobs to show up. Now, this is the subject of my book, High Velocity Hiring: How to Hire Top Talent in an Instant. And I hope you'll buy the book. And today I want to help you, before you even get that in your hands, to start doing an audit, because this way you'll be prepared to start implementing some of the ideas of the book. I'm going to give you 5 questions that you want to dig into with your hiring managers, those executives, those managers, the people that you work with, and also including your HR team or talent acquisition folks, or a combination of the two, because it's a collaboration amongst all of you. So now those 5 questions to help you audit your effectiveness. So question number 1, is hiring more like a play or an improv? So if your hiring's more like a play, that means it's scripted from start to finish. Everything's blocked out. That means people know where they're supposed to go and when they're supposed to go there. The actors all know their lines and it is totally buttoned up. Or it could be like an improv. If you go to a comedy improv and they're making up the lines as they go. So you might be wondering, which one is right? Answer: neither. It's a combination of the two. You don't know the person coming in the door. You need to get to know the person coming in the door, or on the phone if you're doing a phone interview first, which I certainly advocate. So you need a combination of the two. You need to have some starter questions, but you need to do a little improv. I'm a big fan, for example, of asking the question, why do you want to work here? And then taking their responses and just flipping those into more questions. That's the play and the improv combined. When you do that, you have a plan, but you have flexibility, and you're digging in wide and deep to get to know that person. Question number 2, do hires come from different sources? And not just different sources, but 6 to 8 different sources. Now, what are those sources? Referrals, networking, your applicant tracking system or database, and job boards and other automation and tools are just a few of the examples that I cover in the book. If your hires are only coming from a couple of sources, you're missing tons of untapped talent. In fact, only 10% of companies tap into often overlooked pools of talent. So if you're finding that most of your hires are just from 1 or 2 sources, you're missing a ton of people. And so this is a weakness in your hiring process that you'll find in this audit if that's the case. Now, question number 3, are you always interviewing? Now, what I mean by that is I have a mantra: always interviewing, occasionally hiring. I've shared that with thousands of leaders across the globe. Those who have implemented it and stuck with it always tell me the same thing. They love it until they stop doing it. And if you have, and they always come back and say, my biggest regret is I stopped with my mantra of always interviewing, occasionally hiring. Because when they were always interviewing, occasionally hiring, they always had people in their pipeline ready to hire when a job opened up. And they got used to that, and if they backed off on that, if they got complacent, all of a sudden they'd find themselves with an open job and nobody to hire. Question number 4, do you seek proof or promises? A lot of interviewing is conceptual. It's work, it's talking about, doing work. It's not real work. And think about the candidate. Are they going to tell you the ways in which they work poorly, the things they don't do well? No, people are going to put themselves in the best light. And it's not the candidates are purposely trying to be deceptive. They're marketing themselves, and the smart ones are going to market themselves well. So they'll make all kinds of promises, and some people will lie. Versus if you seek proof, if you actually have people do sample work, if you have them prove to you that they can do quality work, that's a much better interview, because that part of your hiring process. Now, question number 5, can you hire on demand? Open jobs are the biggest strategic threat to your company, to any company. Why? You need good people who do great work to reach your goals. If you can't hire the moment jobs open up, something happens with that seat. You've got to find somebody to do that work, or you've got to do that work. And if you have multiple open seats, it just magnifies the problem. This is why slow to hire, quick to fire really has never made sense, and in today's world of a talent shortage, certainly doesn't make sense. You need a flowing pipeline of talent coming through your organization at all times. So those are your 5 questions. I hope you'll get started. I hope you'll also buy High Velocity Hiring, How to Hire Top Talent in an Instant. I hope you'll join me on this path to faster hiring. It's a gift you give your company because your company always has talent. It's a gift you give yourself because you have people to do great work for you. And it's a gift you give to those employees because instead of a long, drawn-out hiring process, you're putting them through one that's fast and efficient, that shows that you're a nimble, decisive decision maker. And in today's world, that's who top talent wants to work for.